I'm on a rolly chair. Hi guys, happy Wednesday, Thursday? Who knows? Happy day. The time has come for me to discuss with you the Unshakeable You. I've been talking about it all month, probably since last month, and so far you don't even know what it's about. So I'm here to tell you who this program is for, what it involves, how long it is, do you need it, do you want it, do you like me? Do you like me? But yeah, I'm really just going to break it down for you so we can figure out whether or not this is something you want to do. Now, before I begin, I only have 4 spots for this program. 1 is taken, and yeah, let's begin, shall we? Okay, before we begin, I want to ask you a question. So in the next slide, go ahead and answer the question. You answered yes. Hell yeah, you're my type of people. I love people who are tenacious about growth and wanting to expand and really just take the most out of life as possible. The bad news is you probably are here because you've seen a lot of different programs, a lot of many self-help books out there. There's so many Instagram accounts that you can follow that lay things out for you. There's so many probably free ebooks that you've downloaded to try to figure out how to take yourself to the next step, the one that your body, your potential is aching for. But how do you even implement all that stuff? If you're here or you follow me on Instagram, you probably have been wanting to shift your life in a new direction, one that feels like truly real to you, where you're not holding back for anyone, you're not hiding parts of yourself for different people that you need to report to. And it's hard and it feels stuck and it feels like there's more that you should be doing. And this is something that I struggled with. It's hard to look out into the world, to your friends, to these influencers on Instagram, on social media, and not feel jealous and a little bit bitter because they're kind of doing things that you kind of want to do, or they're showing up in a way that triggers you. And really what might be happening is that they are showing themselves fully. Meanwhile, you've been kind of holding parts of yourself back to keep up your reputation, the same reputation that's kind of choking who you are really on the inside that wants to come out. If you feel attacked right now, I'm sorry, but also good. That's where I started too. Sometimes you can have everything available to you and you can still get stagnant and stuck. I consider myself a pretty successful person in my career and my personal life, but there were things that were holding me back. And when clients come to me for one-on-one sessions, that's usually where they start. They have everything available to them, but they just don't know how to breach their upper limit. They don't even know how to integrate their authenticity into their current success. So take a breath. It's gonna be okay. I know that right now it feels like something is missing and there's a piece that's not fitting into your puzzle, but if you just hang in there with me, we can walk through it together. And the last 6 months developing out this specific week by week program, and I spent the last 2 years sharpening my tools and my frameworks that I use for my own transformation and that I use for the transformation of my clients. Like me and you really believe that there's more out for you in this world and you don't want to keep trying to DIY this expansion and growth, this is exactly why I created this program, to expedite that, so that way you have someone that will walk you through the process. And when I say the process, it's really learning who you are on the deepest levels through the human design roadmap. And then it's picking apart where you feel ashamed and why you feel ashamed through shadow work and getting really comfortable with the shadowiest parts of yourself, you know, the ones that you really would rather people not see. Lastly, it's about figuring out what stories you're telling yourself consistently. I've found with clients that they are repeating stories in their head. They don't realize that they're living out a story that someone else wrote for them. And once you can visualize and observe what those stories are, you can start creating a new one. And that's when the transformation, boof. Okay, I'm pretty sure boof is some kind of weird sexual term, so please don't quote me on that. The Unshakable You is a 10-week private coaching experience with me. You get me for 10 weeks and we go through 5 really deep workshops/sessions. And I say at least 5 because you get more sessions with me if you sign up early for these bonuses. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to say it in words and then I'm going to show you in text so that we can have both. I know people are visual or audible learners, so this is great. So the first 2 sessions, the first part of the 10 weeks is really about diving deep into who you are and why you are. The frameworks I use is human design heavily into that. It's going through each theme of your life, how you're showing up, what you're telling yourself there. And you don't even really need to know human design to start this, but it's just a really good tool to use. And if you know your human design well, super perfect. You can even dive deeper. Then we move on to shadow and shame. And this, my friends, is my fucking favorite because a lot of people don't dive into their shame. They don't dive into what embarrasses them and what they don't want people to see. I promise you that when you start to get comfortable with those shadows, with the things that make you feel like, oh, I don't like that, you start to not give a fuck about what people think of you. And that is the most, of anything in this program, that is the most freeing thing, to just show up who you are with your shame in tow and being like, this is who I am, this is what I do. All right. After that, we really dive deep into limiting beliefs. Now, that's a very in vogue phrase right now, but the work is important. It's popular. So we do all that front work first before we get to the limiting beliefs, is because once you understand yourself from the deepest possible unshakable levels, your limiting beliefs and where they stem from become incredibly clear that you can't ignore it. Therefore, you are forced to change the way that you live and see yourself. After that, we get into clarity, planning, and strategizing. And the reason for that part first is because once you know what you want, why you want it, when you want it, where, how, when, we can come up with stronger plans that you will commit to, because now you know what you know and you cannot not know it. It's not going to make sense, but it doesn't matter. The strategizing comes next because I want you to take the steps that you need take to be the person you want to be. The reason why it sounds general is because this program is so customized to each individual and what their specific needs are, whether it's relationship, career, confidence, whatever it is that you need. During all that, we create a roadmap based off of your power, your authenticity, all of the shadows that you are now using as your power, and we create an action plan that I hold you super accountable to, because you don't grow unless you are taking action, and I need to make sure that you are taking action because I don't want people to half-ass this work at all. So now that you know yourself on an unshakable level, you have figured out your shame, and now you have a plan of action that you're going to take and that someone's going to make you take. I'm going to show you the text and the modules, session by session, how this actually looks like. And also because I know people are visual learners as well, so you can see what this is about. So the reason why I'm taking applications for this program is because it's really not for everyone. I've had to gently say no to people who've asked me about it before I launched because they still need a little bit more expansion, resources to get where they need to go. So who is this program really for? It's for those people who have passion. They have all the tools available to them and the resources to make what they want happen. They just don't have the clarity around it. It's for people who have already some level of success, but they really want to show up in their authenticity, in their realness in all aspects of their life, but for some reason they're not. And it's for people who know that they want something and they know that they can get it, but they just don't know the how part of it. And that's where I step in, hold your hand, and take you through that transformation, that upper limit that you want to breach. So what do you get out of this program? What do you walk away with after the 10 weeks of working together? Good question. I'll tell you in the next slide. So I know what it feels like to have that urging, that aching, that fire inside you that wants to get to the next level. And I'm going to be honest with you, every time you get to one level, there's always going to be another level you want to reach. But it's a beautiful process. There is no end point. I want to do this work with people who love that cycle of death and rebirth and death and rebirth and newness and exploring this beautiful thing we call life. It's so much fun, the work, and that's why I do it. So that's all on that. You want to walk away this summer showing up in the world in a brand new way, in a way that feels real and authentic and like you're not holding back any part of you anymore. And you want an action plan and someone to hold you accountable. And you want to redefine success on your own terms. Go ahead and fill out an application. If you're concerned about the price, but you still want to do it, fill out an application. All I ask of you is just to be really, really, really honest when you're answering the questions, whether it's about money, whether it's about skepticism, whether it's about even what is human design, what is shadow work, do I need to be spiritual to do this? Ask away, be honest, and let's have a discussion about it, because I love what I created here. I'm super excited to get more people into this vessel. And I'm going to warn you, the price that it is now is probably the last time it will be that price, because I put in a lot of work to it and it's going to keep evolving into something. Right, if you are here, swipe up, fill out the application, read the whole page, top to bottom. It has all the information on what is involved in the program, what you're going to get out of it, what the price is, what's in the package, what the bonuses are. Swipe up and apply. Even if you're curious about it just a little bit and you want to have a conversation with me on it, go ahead. So, going forward, questions, comments, concerns, praise, hate mail, go ahead and leave it here. Probably not the hate mail part because no one likes that kind of shit. And on a personal note, honestly, dude, thank you so much for even listening to me. I'm gonna be really honest with you. This is very, very vulnerable to pitch myself like this, to pitch a project that I've been working on and feel so big-heartedly about. Just thanks for hearing me out. I appreciate it. I don't want this to be awkward for anyone. It's a little bit nerve-wracking putting myself out on a limb like this, but it really is because I believe in the transformation. I believe in the value of it. And I also know that your routine is probably not working for you if you're this far along in my little slideshow of this program. Your potential wants to come out. It does, but what you've been doing probably hasn't been working. And it's because you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need maybe a little bit of guidance. And you just need someone to hold you accountable, because it's so easy to revert back to old habits if no one is paying attention. So thank you so much for getting this far into the slide. I'm so excited for the potential of whoever's watching me right now. So swipe up here, swipe up here, swipe up everywhere.